Hey, y'all. Elwynn Orion coming to you live from DFW. Today we're going to be speaking with a tree, and this tree is going to be teaching you how to speak with one. So if you're interested in learning how to connect with Mother Nature in this particular way, stick around. I'll be explaining the process first, and then I will be performing the process so that you all can hear about it and then see it in action. And then this beautiful tree is going to be delivering a message for collective. Alright, so you all have heard me do it before. We've all heard the process repeatedly. I ground into the mother, I branch into the father, I center to self. This is a simple process that most easily allows me to connect with Mother Nature, and is also a way that each and every one of us connect with trees. So in my experience, every tree out there is full of love and giving. They are here to help hold our space and literally make sure that we can breathe. Trees are an extremely loving and gentle entity. And like I said, in my experience, they're always happy to extend friendship, gratitude, and understanding. When I first learned to connect with trees, I hadn't realized I'd been doing it my whole life. Growing up, we had this huge pecan tree that sat outside my house, and near daily I would sit under that tree, rest back against her massive trunk, and breathe. Now, granted, this was rural Texas, so it was a whole lot quieter and a whole lot more peaceful then. And even then, it was a calming, centering process. Sitting next to that tree would allow me to connect with that tree's flowing energy. And well before I knew how to ground myself, I knew that touching a tree could allow me to feel centered and calm. So as soon as I started talking about trees, anyone who's made it this far, a certain tree popped into your head, didn't it? Could be an oak, could be a magnolia, could be a pecan, could be... Who knows? Who knows what kind of tree it is? You do. You know the tree. Even if you don't know its scientific name. So with that tree in mind, whether you want to take this video with you and go find the tree now, or write the information down and do this later, keep that tree in mind. Alright, so the process. You guys have heard the process repeatedly. For connecting with trees, we are not going to need the centering for self. That one is specifically so as to allow me to keep my own personalness, my personality locked away, so that when I'm delivering channeled messages for y'all, I am not in the way. It is spirit being allowed to flow freely through me, and is uninhibited. When you're connected with a tree, however, of course you want your own spirit to be connecting with your planet brethren. So, for this instance, when you're connecting, whether it be a tree or a bush or grass or whatever type of plant you want to connect with, the very, very first step, most crucial, is that one of politeness. Ask. Simply ask the tree, be it aloud or in your mind, if it is willing to speak with you. Very rarely have I had a tree say no, and when they did, it was a no, not right now. And I would later discover it was in my benefit and had nothing to do with the tree whatsoever. It was because of my own timing. So, approach the tree and ask, "May I speak with you?" Now when you get your answer, you're going to feel it in your chest. You may also hear it in your mind if you have your psychic connections open. The feeling in your chest will either feel like a positive or a negative. Feels positive, you've been given a yes. Feels negative, you've been given a no. Once you've been given the positive yes, feel free to approach the tree. In my experience, being able to touch the tree does help, especially for those who are new to the process of connecting with a planet mate. However, it is not necessary. Just being near the tree, being in its vicinity, allows you to connect with it. So if you'd like, lean against your tree, or sit with it, and take a nice, fat breath. I'm talking fat, y'all. Fill up the belly, fill up the lungs, expand as deep as you can, pulling in all that oxygen. Hold it, and while you're holding that air, recognize it's a gift from the very tree that you're connecting with. As you exhale, exhale every speck of air that you had inside of you. Squeeze that diaphragm and lungs empty. And as you gift that carbon dioxide, think about it. Think about the fact that you're gifting a return to the tree. The two of you have now committed a soul exchange. By doing the soul exchange, you're even more easily able to connect with the tree. Okay. So you've got your tree, you've picked them out, you've asked for permission, hopefully you've received permission, and now it's time to connect. Stage one is to keep those eyes closed. And eventually you may be able to do this with your eyes open, but to start, it helps limiting distraction by keeping your eyes closed. Now continue to breathe deeply. Keep breathing into that diaphragm and exhaling so that your body knows the kind of breathing that you want it to do. Once you start doing mental/spiritual connection with something, your body does take over. So give it the rate of breath that you want. Nice, calm, peaceful, and relaxed. Once you're feeling good, you're feeling relaxed, you're feeling stable within yourself, now it is time to open the connection. The first stage of opening connection is to root, just like that beautiful tree that you're connecting with. First, you can imagine their root system. A neat thing about trees is every spot in which they branch, the tree technically has the same amount of trunk width. That width has simply been split in two. The same can be said with the root system. It is just as deep and intricate and complex and large as the tree above ground. So imagine those roots pushing into the soil, gripping, grabbing, holding onto each other, holding firm this tree so that it can survive pulling up water from the ground during drought and to withstand heavy winds. The same can be said for your spiritual rooting. When you spiritually root into the mother and you yourself, your soul is grounded, you are better able to handle issues. Be it a personal issue, romantic, platonic, familial, work, whatever it is, the more grounded you are, the better you're able to withstand. So now that you've pictured that tree's roots, imagine your own. If you're standing, imagine them coming from your feet. If you're seated, imagine them coming from your pelvis. And imagine big, fat root sticking right into the ground. Let it unfurl, let it branch, let it spread, let it go as deeply as feels good for you. The deeper that you can root, the more assertively you can connect with the mother's heartbeat, which is the thrum of the earth, and it's the very thing that allows us to feel grounded during any and all grounding modalities. All right, now you've got your roots, got them dug nice and deep into the earth. Now it's time to branch. You're going to be branching up to the Father sky. You can identify it as the sun or the sky as a whole. It is definitely seen many a way across cultures on our planet. So now we're going to branch. So imagine this tree's branches, or look at them since you're there. See how they split and they separate, continuing to open up more opportunities for the leaves to blossom and allow the tree to continue to do its tree thing. So now you're going to do the same. Using your energy, feeling with your heart, reach up with all of your might into the sky. Sometimes I even lift my hands up, as sometimes it can help, but this is not necessary. As you energetically reach up into the sky, imagine how the tree brings in sunlight, soaking it into itself and utilizing it by running it down into the root system, the energy and whatnot received from the sun. The same can be said for you. As you pull in the Father's abundant loving energy and allow it to flow through you down into your root system, you have now allowed Spirit, or God, to flow through you, personally. Once you can do this, you genuinely don't need anyone else. You don't need a priest, you don't need me, you don't need tarot, because you yourself can connect directly with Spirit. And in this case, directly with a tree. Once you have rooted and branched, keeping your eyes closed, let that sit for just a moment. Continue to feel the flow. Allow Spirit to fill up your vessel. The more in harmony you are with Spirit, the easier it will be for you to understand what the tree has to say. The tree has asked me to join it, so we're going to get down here with the buddy. Hello, friend. All right, so I'm going to talk you through it, and then I'm going to do it. Branch. root into the mother, sinking your energy deep into the earth and allowing it to ground. Once you feel stable there, branch to the Father, pulling in the love and light and funneling it back to the earth. In this space, we can feel Spirit's resonance and allow the tree to speak. Now, you do not need to go further. When you've rooted and branched, and you're sitting with the tree, you will start to feel and potentially hear information coming to you. Some might call it psychic understanding, some may call it magic, some may call it insanity. Regardless of what you want to call it, this is something that humans have been doing for time immemorial, and connecting with trees is a gift from God. So I'm going to do the full process. I will also be centering the self. The reason y'all do not need to center to self... Hold on, there's lots of traffic driving by. The reason y'all do not need to center to self when connecting with Spirit directly is because it's just the twos of yous working together. Because I channel and offer messages for collective, it is crucial that I lock myself away. That way my own personality, my own mind isn't getting in the way and interfering with the message. Oh, a cute little buggy. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get into tune, and we're going to see what the tree has to say about connecting with trees. Grounding to the mother, branching to the Father, locking the self away, opening up to receive information, allowing Spirit to pass through. Hello, friends. Beautiful magnolia tree, what would you like to say to collective? Blossoming, blooming. It's difficult to do, isn't it? To show up as your authentic self, unfolding all of you and allowing everyone to see you in your true glory. It's a pretty scary thing. Whether it be a bee coming by to take your pollen, or a bird stealing your fruit, there's always risk involved with showing your beauty. Yet how empty would the world be if you never saw a blossom again? We trees do not ask to stay humble. We do not ask for humility when blossoming. We know how much you love it. You admire us for that very fact. And we do not ask you to keep us in check while we're growing and while we're becoming. You too, sweet friends, need to do the same. Let yourself blossom. Let yourself be. Do it in your own time and at your own rate. Do not feel that you must keep up with anyone in society. You are your own tree, with rooting and branching involved, and yes, blossoming. Allow yourself to be beautiful, as you are, without societal expectation. And do not seek to keep quiet when you blossom, for blossoming is always a beautiful thing, be it a flower or a soul. One moment, it's a really big truck coming through. We ask that when you connect with a tree, do not worry so much about yourself the first time. The first time you connect, simply allow yourself to be. Feel the energy flow, feel your own energies intertwine and connect with that of the tree that you choose. And simply just be. Even if this is all you ever do, if you never connect with us further and you never speak, just sitting beneath our boughs and allowing the air exchange to happen is a product of peace. Allow that peace to seep into your life and infiltrate the areas that are themselves less peaceful. Blossom for me, darlings. Show us how beautiful you can really be, in your uniqueness, as an individual. Do not be afraid, and when you are afraid, think of the trees. All we have to do is ground a little deeper and protect ourselves from the harsh environments up above. The same can be said for you. The more often and the more thoroughly that you ground with the Mother, the more stable and secure you will be in every avenue of your life. We trees ask to be a part of this. However, it does not have to be just a tree. Perhaps you live somewhere that does not have trees. This is all right. Even an empty field is teeming with life. You simply need to squat down and look. And I promise you that life is eager and willing to connect and deliver messages from Spirit. You are not in need of a shaman. You are not in need of a priest. These are beautiful, wonderful endeavors that humans take upon themselves to help guide those that struggle. You need only yourself and the ability to breathe, and you alone can connect directly with God. We trees thank this humble child for delivering this message and for delivering our information. We are grateful for her presence and her work. That is all. Oh, thank you. I'm so humbled. I love working with trees, y'all, because it's true. There is a tear of peace felt when sitting with a tree or connecting with a natural piece of life that is unlike anything else I've ever experienced. As someone with generalized anxiety disorder, autism, OCD, and a cacophony of other hurdles, trust when I say that I understand anxiety. I understand worry. I understand those things running through your head, and I understand the fear of blossoming. And I can say without a doubt that if you take a little bit of time, a little bit of intention, a couple of trips, a couple of times, you might not get it the first time. I didn't. It took me effort and intention to finally be able to connect with trees. So if you don't get it the first time, don't be discouraged. Just keep trying, and eventually you're going to feel it. You're going to know it in your heart. And you'll have made a new friend. A friend that will outlast you in ways you never knew possible. All right, I love you all ever so much. You are freaking fantastic, every single one of you. Remember, this is our guidance for the week. Go connect with a tree and open up your spiritual understandings with branching and rooting. All right, you are all fantastic. Go in peace and be blessed. You are all loved, exactly as you are.